There is an insane Zillow obsession going on and we have to talk about it. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me once again for some more real estate content. So today we're going to be talking all about Zillow. We're going to be talking about Zestimates, about our country's unhealthy obsession with Zillow. I think that it has been developing for a while now, but with the pandemic, I think it has just worsened. People are on there all the time looking at houses even if they're not trying to buy. So I really just want to talk about Zillow and how it's affecting the housing market. So first off, I want to start by talking about Zestimates, and then later on in the video, we're going to be talking about how Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, other websites like that are actually affecting demand in the housing market. So before we get started, I did ask you guys a few questions on Instagram regarding Zillow, and I wanted to check on the status of all of those questions, see what you guys have been saying. So far, the stories have been up for 3 hours, but when I actually go to upload this video, I'll put the updated story polls on the video, or I'll put them somewhere up here so that you guys can see the final votes. But the first question was, do you use Zillow to browse homes even if you don't want to buy? So far, 89% of people have said yes, and 11% of people have said no. I also asked, how often do you browse Zillow? The first option was daily/weekly, and only 19% of people chose that option. And the second option was once in a while. And so far, the majority of people, 81% of people, have answered that they only look at Zillow once in a while. The third question was, do you think Zestimates are usually accurate? So far, 38% of people have said yes, and 62% of people have said no. For those that may not know, a Zestimate is an evaluation by Zillow that determines how much they think your house is worth. During our brokerage's office meeting this morning, they also brought up some really interesting infographics regarding Zillow that I wanted to share with you guys because I thought they were pretty cool. And I'll definitely put those up on the screen, but the first one is titled The Impact of a Zillow Obsession, and it's based on a survey of over 1,000 people. So some of the stats on here are wild. One of them says, 58% of people have missed an important deadline at least once because they were browsing Zillow. 44% of people become emotionally attached to a house they see on Zillow. 56% of people have canceled plans with a friend at least once to browse Zillow instead. I'm wondering if these are people's honest answers, because that's just crazy to me. 27% of people browse Zillow to relax. There's nothing more relaxing than looking at overpriced homes when you have $20 in your bank account. 53% of people have looked up their boss's house on Zillow. You guys. 64% of people have contacted a listing agent for a house out of their price range at least once. 51% of people have signed the papers on a new home but continued to browse Zillow. So people are just on Zillow. It's essentially a social media platform at this point. People are constantly on there looking at houses they probably can't afford. And I just really want to talk about what effect this is having. So let's start off by talking about Zestimates. So Zestimates are usually inaccurate, and that has a lot to do with the fact that Zillow doesn't have all of the correct data and information for the most part on your house. You can't really rely on a Zestimate when you're making an offer as a buyer or when you're trying to list your house for sale as a seller. Zillow simply doesn't usually have all the information that they need to make an informed price evaluation, so for the most part, these estimates are a little bit off. Now, with the housing market being so insane, the inventory shortage has caused prices to just keep going higher and higher as the year goes on. Because of this, Zestimates have gotten wildly inaccurate because Zillow simply can't keep up with this hot market. If Zestimates were off by about $10,000 before, now they're off by as much as $100,000 to $200,000. Right now, Zestimates are typically lower than a house's actual value, and that again has a lot to do with the fact that there is an inventory shortage and house prices are skyrocketing. Zillow themselves describes the platform and the Zestimate as a helpful starting point, but not an appraisal. It's not even a comparative market analysis. For those that may not know, a comparative market analysis is something that a realtor will prepare for you, whether you're a seller or a buyer, so that you can have an idea of what the home that you're selling or buying is worth. A CMA is also not an appraisal. It's an educated guess that your realtor makes by comparing the home to other homes like it in the area. However, a CMA is far more accurate than a Zestimate can be because your realtor can take into account the specific features of your home, the neighborhood that you're in, and they can give you a much more informed value and opinion on your home than a Zestimate can. If you're a buyer right now, a Zestimate is not going to give you an accurate estimate of what a house is worth, so don't don't base your offers around this estimate. Talk to your agent to make sure that you're offering a price that makes sense, and keep in mind that in today's market, you're likely going to have to offer above list price to have your offer considered. So bottom line is, a Zestimate usually isn't accurate because they can't take into account all of the correct data and information of your house, and right now they are wildly inaccurate because the inventory shortages are causing prices to skyrocket past what anybody even imagined was possible. So right now, Zestimates are simply not accurate. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about today was how Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com are creating artificial demand. During our office meeting this morning, we were discussing how demand is so intense right now. It really feels like everybody and their mom is trying to buy a house. But why is that the case? We know a lot of buyers have entered the housing market right now because of the historically low interest rates. It's really cheap to borrow money right now. But another reason could be that these platforms like Zillow are creating demand as well. And let me explain how they're doing that. So tons of people heart or save properties on websites like Zillow every single day. When you save a property on one of these platforms, usually what they'll do is they'll send you an email afterwards. This email that they send you could insinuate that the home is really hot right now and there are a lot of people interested in it. They may even say, you know, thousands of people have viewed this home or have saved this home, and that'll make you feel like, oh my goodness, there's so much interest in that house, I have to act immediately. This sense of urgency and feeling like you need to make an offer as soon as possible or somebody else is going to snatch the home away from you is probably also contributing a great deal to the increased demand that we're seeing across the country right now. People are experiencing a sense of FOMO, or fear of missing out, and they feel like if they don't put an offer down right away, that house is going to be gone. Now, this is definitely the situation that we're in right now, and I can't help but think that platforms like Zillow have brought us to this point, unfortunately. I'm not saying this to say that Zillow is the enemy. I'm just recommending that you don't fall down the Zillow rabbit hole and don't trust the numbers on the site too much. Always consult with your realtor to get more accurate information, especially if you're looking to list your home or if you're looking to make an offer on a home. All right, you guys, that's going to be it from me for today. Thank you so much for joining me this week, for watching this video. I really hope it provided some valuable information. If you found this video helpful or beneficial, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me out so much. And make sure to turn on the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'll put both handles up on the screen. I post a lot of day-to-day real estate content on there, especially on Instagram. I do a lot of polls on there, so if you want to be a part of my journey, make sure to follow me on there. All right, you guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!